Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. Today is December the 16th, 2021, and it'll be Christmas before we know it, and a brand new year. So I'm going to start off right away today with what Hope and I are wearing. Hope and I are wearing the same thing. I know you've seen this one before. I showed it very briefly last week, and I would have shown it, I think, back in early October as well. I talked about the pattern because I made a couple of it. It's called the Zurzura Shawl. I have trouble saying that. The pattern is by Reggie of J Hook Crochet. And I really enjoy making this pattern. And you may recall when I first showed it that I said I was making it in a gradient cake, and as I was making it, I saw what appeared to be poinsettias. They looked like poinsettias to me, so I put aside the skein I was using at the time and pulled this one out. This is a yarn from Ravenswood Fiber Company, and it was Christmassy, which I thought was very appropriate for the pattern. And I finished it right away, and I really love it. It's a mixture of merino and nylon, and I'm going to take this off and bring it closer so you can see it, and hopefully be able to tell that there is sparkle in it. See the sparkle? I'm sure you can see the sparkle, and you know how much I enjoy working with and wearing sparkle. And this could also be worn as a shawl because it is a good, when you block it, it is a good size. It's quite a good size. And I only used one skein of yarn, one skein of hand-dyed yarn that's 400 meters or 437 yards, and nice and soft. And I move her back, and I am wearing the very same scarf, but it is in blues, which is one of my favorite colors. And once again, can you see there are sparkles? Now, I just finished what I had to do last week, and so I really wanted to have this done before Christmas. I hope you can see sparkles coming through. So I picked up this yarn last week and made it in about 2 to 3 days, depending on how much time you have each day. But it works up very quick. And I was thinking that this time, to me, it's so busy. I'll put it this way. Maybe you can see it looks like snowflakes. So the blue and white was so appropriate, I thought. And the yarn, again, is from Ravenswood Fiber Company, and it's called Blue Christmas. And again, it is a merino and nylon blend, and nice and soft. And so that is one of the items I just finished making and blocking this past week. So I'm sure you're all here waiting on the edge of your seat for the next installment of the Advent Calendar. It's a Masquerade Holiday Advent Calendar by Reggie from J Hook Crochet. Now, last week we got as far as the 9th, so a very quick recap. Here is the first 8 days. Then it changed, and we got this on the 9th day. Looks good with that color. So now we're going to find out what colors came this past week. So on the 10th, there's number 10. And there we go. Some really pretty, actually we got a little bit of this, I called it raspberry, and into blues and teals. Really, really pretty. I like the combination. Purple in there a bit too. Very nice. So that's day 10. Then on day 11, I'm wondering how many of you are watching this being opened daily by Linda Simpson. She does it every single day. So she would be right up to where I am now. So that was day 11. And we're getting a little more to the purple with that pinky plum color. So now we have this occurring. More teals and blues, more purples. I'm loving these colors. It'll be interesting to see how they are going to work up. And then next, and I happened to watch somebody open this one on the actual day, the 12th, which was Sunday. I believe Kath from Kath's Eye Catchers opened it. And here we go. Now this is a color I really, really like. You can really see the sparkles quite well, can't you? And look at the day before. Great transition into it. Isn't that perfect? So we've been seeing the transition from this pinky color into the teals, into the purples, and then your solid purple. So nice that we get some solids, or they might be tonals, and some variegated or striped ones. Really, that is a really super nice transition. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we're fading out of the purple and we're going in. Oops, I forgot to tell you what day it was. Day 13. And we're fading out of the purple into the turquoise or aqua. Everybody calls colors differently. But what I see on the screen looks very much exactly like what I see in my hand. Very pretty. And then watch what happens next. The next day is the 14th. 14th. And we get another solid. And look at how that transitions from the last color. My, what a beautiful job she did at transitioning from color to color. So these six are beautiful, perfect in my mind. Those colors, you can't see them all from my hands, but those colors are transitioning beautifully. I really, really like what's going on there. And then we're going to transition some more from this last one, and we get to the 15th. And the 15th is another solid. No, that was the 14th. The 15th is this one, where we're transitioning from this, you call it what you will, I call it an aqua color. And now we're transitioning into another mixture. How nice. How nice. And finally, today's color, today being the 16th, you can see this one is getting darker. The greens are darker. The aqua or whatever, teal, whatever you want to call it, is getting darker. See the darkest in there. I can hardly wait to see what this is going to go into next. But it's going to either be something in that line or something in this green line. So that is, if I can get them all up. Now I've got an extra day here because I have the last of last week's and these. Isn't that gorgeous? Definitely colors I can get on board with. She's done an excellent, excellent job of slowly transitioning from one color to the other. And if I were doing solids, I wouldn't even mind just having these. Aren't they pretty together? But she's done a good job of slowly moving from one color to the next. Very, very good job, Barb. So I can hardly wait to see what the next one is, because the next one is the one that Reggie sort of hinted that I would really, really like. So you'll have to wait a week to see what comes in the next packages. So that is the next installment of our Advent calendar, the Masquerade Advent calendar. And I am going to wait until I've opened everything, so after next week, to start on the shawl. I have a feeling that this would make a super huge shawl, and I might break it into parts and use some colors on one and then do another one in some other colors. So to continue on today, I want to bring back my little girl from last week. I showed you her briefly. This is actually a little gray kitten, and they call her, the Thai babies are all named, and they call her Kiki. So I'm going to stay with that Kiki, short for kitty kitty, they say. Now, today what I want to do is talk a little bit about what I call Loveys. I am not, as I mentioned before, I'm not into making amigurumis. Not that I don't like them. I think some of them are the most adorable thing you'll ever see. I have seen some people that can actually make a dog or a cat that actually looks like your dog or cat. And they use very fuzzy furs, and they take a picture and make it look just like your animal. I think they're so talented to be able to do that. But I also see lots of people that make little stuffed bears and cats and dogs and panda bears and all kinds, every kind of animal you could think of, and they're called amigurumis. They're about this size, and they're just as adorable as can be. But I know I would not be fidgeting with attaching ears and attaching limbs, little things like that. I know I would be no good at doing those kinds of things. So I happened to see, if you've ever watched Rose Likes Crochet, that's another YouTube channel, and she once showed what she calls Loveys, and they are animals with what I call a skirt on them. And she talked about and showed quite a few that she has made and put on her Etsy shop. And so there is a YouTube tutorial. I'll talk about that in just a moment. What I wanted to mention is I made a very elaborate one for this one because she's going to be mine, and I am going to make her a different skirt for each month or season to represent, like in February, I'll have one that's only red and white. This one, of course, is very Christmassy, and she'll have a very elaborate one because she's pretty special, and she's going to be here to show the parade of costumes as the year goes on. So hers is made a little different than what you will find online on the YouTube channel. So I have I'm going to put her aside. I have, first of all, a very small one. I went to the dollar store and I bought several little ones to try it out first. And what you see is a skirt. I'm going to take this off. They come off very easily. And the whole point of these is that you can, if the child, the baby, carries it around a lot and cuddles with it, you can take the skirt off and you can wash it. Just throw it in the machine. If you use most baby yarns, they are acrylics, so they can be thrown in the washer and dryer. And it is just basically a granny square. Do you see the granny square? Now, I don't know if the tutorial I watched put extra on it or not. I put extra on it and extra stitches to make it roughly. Okay, so this was a pink baby yarn. You can see some flecks of color in it, and it's done around a hair tie, a pretty solid hair tie. Some hair ties are thin. I wouldn't use them. Chances are they could snap, and you don't want that to happen. So they're very easy to just put on, take off, and wash them. I put the point at the front. So the first three that I tried were from the dollar store. Just a very, very simple, inexpensive animal, cute little pink lamb. The next one I got was a little yellow ducky. And again, the same yarn, but this time I edged it with latte cake. It's so soft, but this is soft too. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what yarn this is, but you know what? I'm going to pause right here and I'm going to go and get the yarns. So I'm back, and I thought I had paused the video, but I'm still learning. I guess I didn't pause, so we'll just have to put the videos together. So I just finished showing you these two, and this is the yarn I used. It's from Hirschner's, and it's called Papa Bear. And it comes in the green and the pink and the blue. I have it in blue also. And the yarn is 77% acrylic, 23% polyester. And these are good sized balls. They have 360 meters, which is 394 yards in one ball. So you would be able to make quite a few with these. And I think I've just made those two with this particular yarn. Now I have one more animal I got from the dollar store. Oh, I used the blue as well. So I used the green, the pink, and the blue. This is a little bunny. And I put a different yarn on the edge, and I'll talk about that yarn in a minute, because I used it on several other of the Loveys. So I had just went and I picked up these three little animals from the dollar store, so you can very easily and inexpensively make a cute little gift for a child, maybe for Christmas, or to add to a gift for a baby when they're born, or a baby shower. And so I'm going to move those three out of the way, and I'm going to show you one other one I bought that I really, really liked. And I have a bit of a problem with it, and I'll show you why. I thought it was really cute, this little octopus. And they say that these tentacles are good for babies. They actually like to have these kind of animals in the neonatal clinic, in the ICU for babies, because they hold on or grasp the tentacles, which is a good thing. I'm not too sure about it all. But what disappointed me is, because I got this in quite a few colors. I got it in, I got pink and blue and white and this lovely lilac or lavender color. But the thing that I noticed is, I made a skirt for one. Should have left it on so you could see it. I made a skirt, and when you put a skirt on this octopus, the head is so plain that you can't really tell what it is, and it looks kind of blah compared to the others. But I don't know, maybe I will make some anyway. It has very little body as well, just the tentacles. So let me know what you think about putting a skirt on this. Would you even know what you're getting? Because you'll see when you see the rest of my animals how adorable they all look, and you can tell what you're getting. So I would like to hear your opinion on whether I should go ahead and put skirts on the various colors of the octopi that I have. Okay, so those were only the three that I got from the dollar store. Very, very small compared to the rest. Then I went out and I bought more of these kind of animals, the Thai animals. They're a little bit more money, but they're not that expensive. They are under $10 unless you buy the bigger one. So I'll show you some of the others, and I'll show you the yarn as I go. So the next one I have is this. What is he? They have names. I can't read with my glasses on. That's part of the problem. Kiwi. I'm a kiwi like the fruit. I like a tail, but I'm still cute. So there's the kiwi, and you can see he's multicolored. So I put a multicolored skirt on him. And this yarn is, see if I can find it here. I'm pretty sure it's one of, oh, I know what it is. It's a Bernat. Bernat has quite a few different colors in what they call the Bernat Pipsqueak. And this happened to be slightly different color than this one. I've made baby Afghans in this one, and they're beautiful. So that's a Bernat Pipsqueak, and he's kind of cute too. Then this is more Bernat Pipsqueak. It's just a different colors. Yeah, Bernat Pipsqueak stripes. They have that in various different colors in the cakes, and I probably just used part of the cake. See how it's peach on the outside edge? I used part of it and made this one. This is like a puppy dog, a little dog. He's cream all the way, but he sort of looked like the peach went with him. Got a colorful collar on him, so he's kind of cute. I guess I could look up the names of these. Do you really care? Chewy. His name is Chewy. Then I got these off of Amazon actually, and I got this in 3 different colors. And this is a slightly different yarn. I think it's the same yarn as this. James C. Brett Twinkle. And it is 96 acrylic and 4% polyester. And it has 300 meters or 328 yards. Obviously, I used this other color. And I had white as well, so it matched him very, very good. It's our unicorn. And the unicorn came in 3 different colors. So there he is in aqua. And here he is, I don't know what color, orangey coral. And again, I'm using this particular yarn, this exact yarn, which is the Pipsqueak in the different colors. They have a little bigger head, so you have to be a little more careful taking them over their heads. And I believe there is another one, but I don't have it with me today. It might be the one I gave away. I'm pretty sure it came in yellow also, and I'm surprised I don't have the yellow one there to share with you. Then next I have, back to my tie babies, I have a multicolored bunny, and somehow his name came off. I don't know what happened there. And this time I used the Bernat Pipsqueak, but I was actually using the cake. So I started at the middle of the cake and worked out, and this is this is a light green. I took the yellow out. You know, if you follow me, I am not into yellow. I will probably use yellow on something I'll show you in a minute, but I use the other parts of the cake, and I have enough of the cake left to make another dress. It may end up having to use a teeny bit of yellow, we'll see. But I thought the multicolor went well on her. So you can see in all of these, I have made a granny square. And when you use this Pipsqueak, which feels like, some of them are, well, it's a chenille is what it is, a chenille or terry. I had some of them that were called terry cloth type thing. They're very full. They fill in the holes in the granny squares, so they look pretty close to solid. But I have to tell you, I do like the solid skirt that I made for my girl a little bit better. So there's a bunny. And then there's another one. Another style of unicorn. Unicorns are very popular with young children. And this one is called Stitches. I'm not too sure where they get the name. He has a little bit of purple at the center. You see, I had another Bernat Pipsqueak in a different color. So I started at the center and worked out, so he had a little bit of purple and then 2 shades of blue, since he is all blue with that bright neon pink. And I'll be able to make another one, and this time I'll be able to use some of the mint green with the purple and blue. I wonder if that wouldn't look good. Maybe on the Octopus if I decide to do one for him. So that one. Now I have another one here that I haven't finished. I'm using here, I don't have a cake with, oh yeah. I'm using here, it's like the Bernat Velvet, but it's a little thinner than the velvet, blanket velvet. And this is called Nap Time. And I did this, and I'm thinking that I'm not done yet. They don't have this, because it's meant for babies, they don't have it in black, and I really wanted to put black on the edging. This color of green I don't think goes with this guy. I guess maybe I could look for it in a pink or a green, but I really would like, because he's predominantly black and blue, I would really like to get some black velvet. So I think I'm just going to use, I have some black velvet here in the house. I just have to find it where I stored it. And even though it's thicker than this, I think I might put single crochets, maybe a row or 2 on the outside edge. So I have to finish him yet, but I think he's so pretty. And do we have a name on this one? And Beaks. Okay, I guess that's appropriate. Beaks. And I have another one here yet. This is my last one, and this is done with the Pipsqueak yarn as well. They happen to make this Pipsqueak in the balls. I have a feeling it might be discontinued, but they made it in the purple and green, which seemed to match this particular one. She's got sort of greenish paws. I really liked putting that one together. And this one is Pixie. Pixie. Again, unicorns. We have all manner of unicorns. That's very, very popular. I have a number of other animals yet, though, that I want to do. I tried to not buy, other than the ones that I bought from eBay. I had 3 of those where are the big unicorns that I showed you? Oh, I have 3 of these, but they are different. Every one is a different color. But after that, I tried not to get duplicate animals. I just got 1 of each. Now, I still have, and I did end up getting 2 of these. That's how they came. I have this honeybee, and it is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to have to find a bigger elastic band to go around him. Now, is he going to look good with yellow on him? Not in my opinion. I don't think so. And you won't find a baby yellow that's the deep gold color of the honeybee. So I'm trying to decide if I should put a multicolored on him, her, whatever, or what would you suggest? What color of skirt would this guy look good in? Or should I not bother? I mean, I have probably another 6 or 8 animals yet to do. So it's not like I have to do this. I can just put it with something as a gift. But if you think it would look good in something else, I definitely, like, go totally different to make a contrast. Go with this, which is very pale. Or, I don't know. I don't think this yellow does it for me. Pale blue, that's what I used on him. Pale green. You know, I could just do something in white, but I think it looks kind of blah. You know, just kind of blah compared to all the others. So I have more of these to do, and when I do them, because they're animals that you haven't seen, when I do them, I will bring them to show on another show and tell session. But that is what I have finished so far. So that's our show and tell for this week. Let's talk about what's coming up. First of all, we have only 2 more podcasts to finish out the year. Next week will be the 23rd, and of course I am going to show you more mini skeins from the Advent calendar. Now, because it takes us up to the 23rd, there is only 1 more after that, the 24th, and then our large skein. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do next week is I am going to finish the Advent calendar. So if you have an Advent calendar and do not want to see after the 23rd, you don't want a spoiler, then you might want to leave my video for a later date or turn it off at that point. But next week, I'm going to go right through to the 24th mini skein, and there it is sitting there right on my table, 24, the 24th mini skein, and I am going to open the large package. I want to finish it next week before Christmas, and I don't want to hang it over to the following week. So that's the one thing I'm going to do next week. And I'm expecting in the next day or so an order of yarn I just made on the weekend. I made another order from Ravenswood. That's where I got this yarn from, and the one that Hope is wearing. I've shown you the yarn from that company before, but this time I'm receiving something different. I do have one regular skein of sparkle coming, but I also have what's called a sock blank, and I don't know if you all know what that is, but I'm going to show it next week and explain what a sock blank is. So I will be finishing the Advent, showing you my yarn from Ravenswood, and I thought I would fill in for a few minutes talking about where people get their patterns from. And there are a lot of places that you can get patterns, free patterns, and a lot of other places that you can get patterns that you pay for. And some places it's a mixture. And if you're willing to go on some designers' blogs, you can get their patterns for free if you don't mind all the ads that interrupt the pattern, or they have the option to buy it ad-free for a slight cost. Many companies are very well known, but I'd be interested to know what your top 2 or 3 companies are, or places that you go to buy or get free patterns. I know we all know you can go to Etsy and you can go to Ravelry. I get a lot of my patterns on Ravelry, and some of them are free there, but most of them you pay for. But I would like to find out places where you like to go for your patterns, just to see if there are some places that I never heard of. And I have a feeling I have at least one place that I can tell you about, and I'm going to spend some time talking about it next week, that you have never heard of. It may be a shorter video next week, but that's okay because it's just a couple of days before Christmas. And then the following week, which is the very last Thursday of the year, it's actually December 30th, almost the last day of the year. And that is going to end up being a longer video because if you remember, you can go back and look. I set a challenge for myself in late October, and it would be good if you went back and checked out that video where I went around the house and I gathered up 16 different yarns, and that isn't every one of them, but 16 different yarns I had never worked with. And I set myself the challenge that to use as many as possible before the end of the year. And I challenged myself to be able to use at least half of that group that I gathered. And I showed you the yarns slightly. I will show you in more detail. And I have a picture. In fact, my thumbnail is a picture sitting there on the table of the 16 yarns that I gathered. And at the end of the year, as close as we can get on the 30th, my video will be showing you the items I made from that collection. Didn't always use the color that I showed on the table, but I used that yarn. Do you think I used 8? Do you think I used more? How many do you think I used? But I am going to show you every item I made from that collection of yarn. Tell you about the yarn and tell you about the pattern. So that is likely going to take more than my usual 30 to 35 minutes. So that's what's planned for the next 2 weeks. I hope you will join me despite the fact that it is Christmas time and it is a very busy time. But I hope you will find, a little bit of time to see what I have to show you. And until then, happy hooking.